Not the result any of us expected coming in at half-time, particularly the Burnley goal.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of a shock to concede the goal, but 45 minutes still to play. There's a big 45 minutes. They actually managed the game really well, Burnley, when they conceded that goal. We did really well. Doku played really well in the first half. He was creating as much as he could against the low block. But Burnley didn't panic, and they created that opportunity, albeit with the deflection, a little bit of luck. Frustrating one from a defensive perspective for our side, but I mean, 45 minutes still to go. It's not much to worry about, I don't think.
No, as you say, all kind of level. It did feel, I don't know if Shels, you'd agree, that maybe City took their foot off the gas a little bit. Burnley did get very organised, but it felt like we maybe just lost a little bit of pace in our play, which kind of allowed Burnley to grow in confidence a bit.
Yeah, I think definitely City starting off 1-0 up straight away. I think they expected maybe Burnley to collapse and maybe fall out of their game plan straight away, and I think they actually looked quite content and still quite calm in being 1-0 down, and they managed to bring one back. So yeah, still another 45 minutes to play, but I think City definitely took the gas off a little bit.
They really sorry, Jaidon, if you wanted to add to that. I wondered if you thought maybe could we have done anything more to try and fashion a few more times. We're going to go into the key moments, but it didn't feel like after the goal as well. I can't really think of many saves Dubravka had to make.
Yeah, I mean, Erling's been quiet as well. They've kept him quiet. Of course, when there's 5 at the back, there's 3 centre-halves there. They're making it really difficult. They're keeping the low block. So from a position of when we score the first goal, I think, did it go down as an own goal potentially?
I think he did go down as an own goal.
I don't know. We scored the goal and we think, right, okay, time to kick on. We all said, I said 3-0, you said 5-0, 4-0. Like, we all said, right, this is what's going to happen. But, I mean, they kept in the game, Burnley, and when you keep in the game in a situation like this, it's frustrating from our side that we had that little moment, little lapse of concentration, I think, in the last 10 minutes of that first half.
Yeah.
Where, it would have been nice even if we just got through, without conceding that goal, because it's now going to be an extremely difficult second half, and as the game goes on, Burnley are going to get more and more confident.
Let's look into some of the key moments then, and Shels, it was a player that you singled out when we were building up to it, and just before as well, we handed over to start the game, which was Jeremy Doku, and I mean, it's gone down as an own goal, but the real kind of instrumentalist for that goal was Jeremy, and how he's been all season, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like I said with Jeremy Doku, I think his final end product is the thing that kind of separates from being his name alongside the best wingers in the world, and I think he's been fantastic today. The only player I think in City's team that's actually tried to make something happen, he nearly got a penalty shout early on.
Yeah.
That all came from his dribbling, trying to make something happen, and I think it just shows it's going to take a lot of kind of hard work and trying to get your best players on the ball in the right areas and trying to get Doku in the crucial areas in the box. He will make something happen. So
we saw it here in the studio. So because I initially thought maybe Foden would have got the goal, but did it seem to come off their defender? I'm guessing.
Yeah, I imagine it's gone down as an own goal, but Phil will be delighted anyway to be involved. And like you said, Doku, he just always plays on the front foot, and we've seen moments on the other side from Savinho a lot more positive. He's probably looking at Jeremy and thinking, you know what, if he's going to have a go, I'm going to have a go too.
Yes.
I mean, it'd be nice if we could get that consistently from our wingers.
Yeah.
If they get to that level, we're talking the levels that Riyad Mahrez hit, the levels that, Sterling and Sané hit.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we want from our wingers, because that's the wing play we've not had for a long time.
Yes.
But with that being said, credit to Burnley, because they've hung in the game. They got the goal, albeit with a deflection, poor Donnarumma. I mean, I don't think he could have done much about that one, definitely. But we've got time. We're all right.
Talk us through that goal, what kind of happened then? Because as you say, they grew in confidence. I mean, it didn't look like it kind of came from much, really.
I mean, to be honest, it's disappointing that the ball goes into the box in the first place for me. I think you've got to come out and try and stop the ball from going into the box initially. He's taken a shot and it's deflected off Diaz and it's gone the other way. Donnarumma's got both his feet planted and it's just a lucky deflection. But you make your own luck, and Burnley could have easily have collapsed, like we'll see many teams do at the Etihad. United, for example.
Yeah.
When they conceded the goal, they looked like they were panicking. And Burnley, to be fair to them, they stuck at it and they kept themselves in the game. They'll be really happy going on.
Yeah, I think it definitely, out of the two managers, you'd probably say Scott Parker's probably more pleased than Pep Guardiola. And also, what I think has been really important for Burnley, and we mentioned this as well, their organisation, as once they did concede, they seem to keep their shape really well, and they have got a lot of pace up front, which is a cause for concern going into the second half, you think?
Yeah, and it's something you got to worry about, especially for City. They know it's very crucial to try and get the win here. I think as a City player, you know you're going to try and get the 3 points, and you've got to slowly start to push forward and start to make things happen. But for Burnley, that can play into their cards, because as the game gets later and later, they'll be trying to get on the counter-attack. And as you can see, Phil had to track back to make a great block.
Yeah, it was a great block.
So they are playing as a team and getting into the right areas. And like FG said, you got to create your own luck. So they keep putting the balls in, anything can happen. But City has to watch out for the counter-attack.
What do you think will be the conversation between the players, or maybe from Pep Guardiola at half-time, FG?
I think it's more to just slow everything down again and go back to how they were at the start. Try and get back on the front foot in the game. Like you said, I think there was a lapse of concentration. Burnley had a bit more possession towards the last 10 minutes of that half. So I think it will be very much so. Let's see how the second half goes. Opening 10 minutes, we've got the players. We know the ability we've got. We've got the best striker in world football, who's not really had much of a chance. But you give him one chance, he'll take it.
I mean, you talk about and they keep giving him a chance. They have been very resolute with their three defenders. Is there anything you'd like to see more from the City players to try and, I don't know, get the ball to Haaland or create them opportunities where he might be able to score?
I think it's quite hard because I was trying to look and I was thinking, where is the space?
No space,
and it's kind of like, what do you really want them to do? But this is where you got to try and get your best players on the ball. I think maybe you got to push to Johnny to get a bit more forward, try and get him in the real pockets. And then allow to Phil and Doku to get in the right areas, and then hopefully it'll free up the space for Haaland. But it's a tough job for one striker against three centre backs. It'll be a tough task.
Interestingly enough, I know the game's 1-1 right now. It makes you realise how important Rodri is once again to this midfield, because you see Tajani playing with a lot more freedom when he's got Rodri behind.
Yes.
And that's natural. When you've got the best player in the world behind you, you're gonna have the freedom to go forward.
And feel a bit more confident.
But it would be nice for one of the midfielders to, of course, get into the box and stuff, but there's no space.
No.
10 men behind the ball all the time.
But then I guess, is that where then maybe FG, then we're looking to maybe them shots from outside of the box? And actually one thing we have got a bit more of this season, and we know Phil can score from outside the box, Tajani Reinders likes to score from outside the box, so you would maybe a couple more shots possible.
More opportunities, more chances would be great. I mean, we don't want to get to a point where, you know, we're just shooting from anywhere, but I mean, when there's a chance there and there's space, and they've got all the players in the box, why not have a go? Nico Gonzalez nearly scored one as well, it deflected wide, and stuff like that, opportunities like that, just need a little bit of luck to go your way. I'm fine with that. I'm confident for the second half.
I like that, FGA. There we go. Always just helps settle the nerves here in the studio. We were mentioning the bench, but I mean, there's quite a few academy players on there. I mean, Divine Mukasa is, I don't know if he'd maybe bring something different to go to a false nine. Is there anyone you'd maybe look to turn to, possibly Shells or FG?
I mean,
kind of question for you both.
I don't think it's going to happen, but Ryan McAdo can make things happen. He is.
Where's his best position?
He can play on the wing.
FG?
He can play on the. He can play on the right hand side. He can play anywhere across the front three. I don't think we'll see him though today in a situation like this.
I was going to say, how is it too big of a game to try and put your trust in those players?
Not necessarily, but you've also got the other players on the bench that you probably go for first. You know, players who are staples in the side that you could look to try and influence a game. It'd be good to see him.
It would be nice. I mean, I was trying to think even if there's a formation change, because the only other two, I guess, attacking players, because I don't think we're going to do what we did against Arsenal. Bernardo Silva and Oscar Bob on the bench. What would Oscar bring, do you think, that Savinho... Savinho brings his own things.
Yeah, Savinho's been good he's been positive in the first half. And if we can get him to keep constantly running at the fullback, he looks like he's got the beating of him. The fullback's on a booking.
Yeah.
Because of the foul that he's made. So it's more so just getting the ball to Savinho, taking on the fullback and seeing, and then maybe in the later stages you can get some more fresh legs on if you need. Oscar's a great option as well, and Bernardo as well. He's a leader. He'll
bring you that energy.
He's ran so much though in the last week. He needs a break.
Yeah, he does need a break. One player who is on the bench who, if he does come on, is another one of our own, Rico Lewis, and if he comes on, that'll be a century of appearances for him at only what? I think, is he only 20 as well, 21 years old? I can believe as well, he's up there, Shells, you were saying, is he one of the better FC players out of the City squad? Yeah,
so me and FG actually managed to play pro clubs against him a couple of years ago, and he is definitely one of the better. I haven't actually had the chance to play against him myself. I still give the crown to Phil on the best FC player, but he loves the game as well. But 100 caps before, 21, 20 years old? That's incredible.
Frightening.
It's frightening, actually, to see how well these academy boys are doing. They're now not just academy players anymore. They're first-team regulars. A century of appearances. I mean, be interesting to see if he comes on. It's an interesting one with Nunes. I think Nunes is in this side to sort of attack more, you know. I think attacking-wise, he's probably got a bit more of an engine to get up and down.
For sure.
But there's not any space. There's no space at the minute for him. So maybe perhaps it would be Rico make him inverted and then create some more pace into the middle. But There's loads he can do with that.
It's also interesting with Rico, isn't it? Because I think he said as well his preferred position, or where he wants to end up in the long run, is in centre mid. I mean, that's where you think he kind of came through the ranks to, and he does love buzzing around in there. Doesn't
Well, we
he?
saw it at Wembley. He saw the goal that he scored in the semi-final from centre midfield. Great finish as well.
Yes.
He scored a couple against Crystal Palace. You know, he for some reason he loves scoring against Crystal Palace. I think the last time he scored against them, he said to me, he was like, I just knew I was going to score today. I don't know why. Yeah, he's got that to his game as well. I mean, who knows, eh?
Speaking of Crystal Palace, as we know, Liverpool have started the season so strong, and I think I'm right in saying it's still currently Crystal Palace 1, Liverpool 0, so second half to go. But I mean, it'd be nice. I mean, Palace, by the way, in imperious form. And Glasner is doing an incredible job. Unbeaten, is it in like 16 or 17 games or something,
Ridiculous
I think now?
Record.
So maybe they could keep that, but that would be beneficial, I think, for the entire league and the title race. It would also make us want to go and get the win today.
We've got a job to do here. I don't think we should be thinking about the title race. We've lost 2 games already in the season. The title race is something that we're happy to go under the radar. I think we're involved in it, of course. It'd be silly to back against us, but it's moments like this that will prove whether we've got that, and I'm pretty sure we will.
I guess is what I mean. It's quite incomparable, isn't it? But I don't know if you're competing in a tournament, Shells, you know, and it is, you know, you're sat at 1-1 or it's quite tense. For you as a player in the moment, is it about keeping the concentration and not letting the emotions take over, I guess, a little bit? Because I've always thought that when, especially in them environments, do you know what I mean?
You're 100%, and I definitely feel as a player, when you kind of play against an opposition that you maybe feel like you should win or had to, I kind of always played worse. It kind of made me a bit nervous when things wasn't going my way. So, but it's all about staying level-headed, keeping your focus on the task in front of you, and don't think about the league title. Just think about the game right now, and I'm sure these players are well more experienced than I am. So I think they'll be fine.
He's saying that as a former Premier League champion, by the way.
No, well, that's
being too humble. The difference is, right, the difference is that keeping you cool when you're playing FC. Shells does it, I'm 4-0 down, my head's gone, my controller's out the window. There's a difference to it.
There is indeed. We can see the Burnley players are slowly making their way out, so I'm sure it won't be long till the Manchester City players will be in the tunnel as well. Now, you might have noticed on my shirt, and we're all wearing them today, are our Play Safe badges. Oh, well, that is because this weekend marks the return of the FA's Play Safe Weekend, which is a national campaign across the Football League to spotlight the importance of safeguarding at every level of the game. We here at Manchester City recognise our responsibility to promote, protect and safeguard the welfare and dignity of everyone, giving them a positive experience through the provision of enjoyable, safe, respectful and nurturing environments. So that is why we're all wearing our pin badges today. Right, the boys are in the tunnel, so come join myself, Shells and FG at full time. It's currently Manchester City 1, Burnley 1.
Thank you, Kel. Well, the half-time statistics are fascinating because City may have dominated possession, something like 70% of it, but they've only had 2 attempts on target, and Burnley have only had 1. The score is 1-1. So Burnley's only attempt on target has gone in the back of the City net. The Blues absolutely in control, really, for the first half an hour or so. Started to lose their way a little bit, lost their intensity a little bit. Burnley grew in confidence, started to get into City's final third, and as I mentioned, with that only attempt on target, they have cancelled out the early goal. City yet to score, of course, because Estev got City's goal with an own goal, and Anthony has got the equaliser. So for all City's dominance, they haven't fashioned that many chances. Just one really good Dubravka save to deny Doku, which was City's other genuine attempt on target. Alongside me, the former City goalkeeper Nicky Weaver. Nicky, did City get a little overconfidence? What do you think the reasoning was that Burnley came back into the game?
It certainly looked like it to us, didn't it? You know, Burnley, whenever it was 1-0, they always had some belief, and when they got the goal, the game completely changed.